Hi all, welcome to TechFest Java. In this video we are going to discuss about a null object design pattern. This is one of the important design pattern and it is basically used for avoiding the null reference checking. So yeah, let's just start. Basically null object pattern, a null object replaces the check of null object references, and in place of if check of for null values, a null object reflect to nothing relationship. So this basically tells that whenever we want to check any of the null object of null object references, so in place of checking a null object references, we will replace a created null object. Simply we can say that we will in this pattern we will create one null object which is basically denoting the do nothing, and that object will be replaced whenever there is a null object reference checking is there. So in that case, basically whenever we will see that any of the checking object is having a null reference, we will replace it with the null object. So that is basically having a default behavior, providing a null object in case of null reference, and this is simply used in case of data is not available. So suppose in real-time example, suppose you are going to fetch a data from a database table, and at that time for a particular employee ID you will not get a data into database table. So at that time you will check that if the employee ID or employee object having a null references, and in that case you will provide any of the exception that object employee not found or something. So in place of checking a null reference on the on a employee object reference, we will replace with by creating one null object do nothing class. So that will replace whenever we found that employee object having a null references. So it is basically that way. We can elaborate more when we do for the implementation part. So let's just start with the implementation and explore more in null object pattern. Okay, so for the implementation of null object pattern, I have created one simple Java project where I have created one package, and there is a main class. So for the implementation, now I'm going to create one more class. I'm calling as that is customer. This class is basically abstract, and in this class I am taking two abstract method. One is abstract public string get name, and another abstract method I'm taking as public string age exist. Okay, so now I'm going to create two implementing classes which are basically extend this class, abstract class, and override the method. So first class I am taking as real customer, which is basically going to implement here so it's going to basically extend customer class and providing overriding of this method. Here we are basically defining static final string name and creating one here. Basically I'm passing string type of name, just basically initializing the name. We can just take it as private, not final is also required. Okay, now from here we are doing just nothing but returning this name, and here I am returning, or do one thing, I'll take this as boolean. It will become easier to return boolean value from here. Returning from here true, and similarly I'm going to create one more class that is calling as no customer. This class is nothing, basically it will handling that null check and providing a null reference, avoiding the null reference check and providing a value on the basis of exist or not exist method. So here we are just returning null and here we are just returning nothing. So okay, I'll just write one message over here. No real customer exist. Okay, now creating one class, or not going to create a class, basically I'm just defining things in a main method. So for that I'm just creating one method that is basically public static, and it will return get customer, it will basically returning a list of customer, and here what I'll do, okay, so now here I'm going to create some objects which are basically, firstly I'll create one list, Okay, so now doing one thing, adding values in the list dot add. Now creating some objects of real customer and few objects of or simply I'll return the string and here doing nothing but pass the name customer1 list dot add. I'm just copy pasting this 2-3 times so that you can save the time. Name that customer2 passing as customer3 and in place of real I'm just giving a no customer and there is nothing required for initializing this. So and returning this list of customers. Sorry. Okay, now from here what I'll do, I simply check that or making a for loop list of customer equal to this reference dot guest customer. Okay, now over on this list I'm just creating an loop and trying to get that what is real object or what is null object. Object is real or not. So here what I'll do, one by one calling a cust dot is exist method, which is basically telling that this particular customer in the list, how many customers are real and how many customers are not existing. See, so first 3 customers are real and the fourth one is not existing because in the list we have set 3 customers as real and 1 customer as not exist. So this can be checked on the basis of name also. So if the name of the customer is exist, then it would be real, and if the name of the customer is not exist, then it would be not real. So that way we can put a null check on the states of an object, not on the references. So that is basically a null object pattern. So that's it for this video. If you like this video, please comment out and also subscribe my channel. Thank you.